Always remember.
Oh, happy Monday, Star Wars fans. How are we doing? Grayson, it is Memorial Day. It is a holiday today.
Yes,
But that
sir.
doesn't mean we can't talk about Star Wars.
As we do.
I feel like it's a weird day because for the last, month and a half? I mean,
Yeah.
previously, before Celebration, we were constantly like, Star Wars news, Star Wars news, Star Wars news. And now it's kind of dead in terms of the news front.
I was trying to find a Star Wars joke to make for this, but all that comes to mind is like a Call of Duty joke. It's like 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. But that's like, because it's like, yeah, like we are at the decline of the Star Wars wave of this season.
Yeah.
Currently, all we have left looking forward to, at least slated for the rest of the year, I believe, is Visions and maybe season 2 of Rebuild the Galaxy, but I don't remember if that's next year or not.
I feel like that's next year, unless it's like a late December thing, which I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I could definitely look it up, but
because Visions is like October-ish, which is hype. I'm very hyped for Visions, but we're going a little while, especially because I don't know. We've been talking about it a little bit, and keep an eye out for the future for this. But
September 19th, 2025, Rebuild the Galaxy.
Let's go.
So we're good.
All right,
we got
cool.
that.
So we have September and October. That'll be kind of back our next big wave.
Yeah.
And that Master of Evil book by Adam Christopher comes out in November.
Dude, I keep forgetting about that, but every time I think about it, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be so much fun. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, the pitch for it sounds awesome. It's like I love. Did you ever play or watch that Vader Immortal game?
No, I did not.
Okay. Do you know like what the kind of general plot of that was?
I watched some gameplay when it was initially getting like released, and then I think I watched like a review on it at one point. It was like one of those 20-minute like video essays, like this is what happened to Vader Immortal.
It's very that coded,
Yeah.
Other than it also has a lot of lore of like Mustafar, which is pretty cool. Like why Mustafar looks the way it does in the sequels, where it has
cool.
like the trees, which is very cool. Like it reveals there's like this ancient dynasty of like Force users that was wiped out like millennia ago, and Vader, like you're playing as like the descendant of this like lord who had the Force, and so you're trying to like restore the planet, but also Vader is trying to use some of that power to resurrect Padme, and of course it doesn't work. But anyway, so I mean, yeah, September, October, November, we're getting that kind of triple whammy of two non-canon shows, but to me, I mean, it's still Star Wars, which I'm pumped about, and of course a canon book, and of course, I mean, there's comics and stuff. Legacy of Vader's going on right now,
Yeah, just because you brought up like non-canon series.
Oh yeah,
Hannah and Tony were streaming last week, and Hannah famously is against anything that's not canon being made into Star Wars. So like doesn't really like Visions. Yeah, I agree, and I love making fun of her for it, but she's like, I don't really like anything that's not canon. And then within 30 seconds of saying that, she was like, and I've been really thinking about getting into Star Wars what ifs. I commented so fast. I was like, be so for real right now. Like, I don't really like anything that's not canon, but I would love to see if, like, what if Jar Jar Binks was Darth Vader? Like, this. Oh my gosh, dude. But that's just to make fun of Hannah. Hannah, I love you.
Dude, that's so funny. Yeah, I like for me, it's because we grew up with Legends and with now canon stuff, and it's like
yeah,
even now with current canon things, like, and I'm getting more of an appreciation for that of like even the same stories in canon can be told a little differently, whether it's the the stuff from the Ahsoka book versus Clone Wars season 7,
yeah,
the canon comic versus Bad Batch. Even we're like we'll be talking about it here very soon with the boys from Beyond the Dune Sea, but we're reading the Revenge of the Sith novelization, and according to Lucasfilm, that is there's a lot of stuff that's acknowledging that's like legend stuff right in there, but like a lot of it, it's like it's a cool version of the story. Like there's still differences that are happening. That it's the same story, nothing is drastically changing, but like they'll add little flares in there that I'm like, oh, it's kind of like this is like again back to the Sam Witwer campfire. Sam Witwer button. That's what it feels like. Where it's like someone telling the story of like, oh, well, I kind of heard it a little bit this way, and it's still the same story. It just played a little differently,
Yeah.
So Visions is like, of course, kind of like a cultural hodgepodge of Star Wars stuff, but like, yeah, what if there was like this Ronin who like collected red kyber crystals and like it was full of like Japanese like inspired like bandits with stormtrooper helmets and all kinds of wacky lightsabers, and he's going around with his like droid with a straw hat, and I'm like, yes,
that's what I want.
Will,
do you, what?
I have to make an amendment from last week. Okay,
you want to do this now?
Yes, we're doing this now. Okay, I was pressured. All right, I'm redoing my top 5 ship list. Okay, I'm making a couple of little changes. All right, nothing crazy. All right, 3 of these are staying the same. I'll list those. They all start with G's, funnily enough. Ghost, Gauntlet, Gunship, all staying. Okay, they're all on there.
Okay.
However, I did say U-Wing and I said the Jedi Interceptor.
Yep.
Then I realized there's a better ship in Andor other than the U-Wing. And that is the Fondor Hallcraft. And I am a sucker for the Fondor. I love that design. I think it is utter perfection. And you swayed me. I have to put the Falcon on there. I can't not,
Whoa, so you're taking the Jedi Interceptor off?
If I had to have a starfighter in there, the Jedi Interceptor would stay. So it really is a toss-up between those two. But like the Falcon's so classic, dude. Like I love ships that feel like you can live in them. And pretty much all of these ships, maybe other than the gunship, they are roomy enough that like some people you could camp out, you could live, like you don't need a house. You got a ship.
You like the equivalent of Star Wars RVs.
Yeah, mobile homes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love me a good. Now, if we were to do a top 5 starfighter list, that would be different, And for people that are probably confused, like, oh, is Bo-Katan's not a starfighter? It is not. It is actually very roomy in there. It can hold a lot of people, like more than.
Dude, just thinking of the cockpit when they're in there in Mando, it's like that's big.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of scaling people, like the consistency of like animation to live action has changed a little bit, but regardless, like it's always been like, yeah, this holds. I mean, even just from the pure concept of like when it's dropping the Mandalorians, but even taking that out, like the underbelly has like a full like cabin and like cargo hold and everything. So
yeah, I assumed on the inside it was bigger than a U-Wing, like for sure.
Yeah, so based on what I understand, I looked up the measurements, like it's at least in pure like surface area, like on the outside, it's almost like takes up the same amount of space as the Falcon. Like in terms of but obviously the inside is not as big as the Falcon, but it's still pretty big.
Okay. Is it can't be as big on the insides as the T6 though?
Probably not.
I feel like the T6 is huge on the inside.
Yeah, well the T6 is almost as big as like the Ghost, I feel like.
Yeah, it's big.
Because the Ghost is slightly bigger than the Falcon.
Yeah.
But then you said the T6, man. Oh,
dude.
T6 is like that. Honestly, it's like that and the Falcon could like swap out. I don't know.
I love
It's
that ship so much.
it was I was in Walmart like not kidding like an hour ago like getting something for this episode, and it's an extension cable, nothing crazy, and but they
I
had the
was like, what?
T6. Yeah, they had the T6 and the Ghosts there, the Micro Galaxy Squadron ones, and I'm like, I want it, I want it.
I really want the T6, but I like don't know where I would display it. Like I don't know
You gotta
what I
hang it
would
from the
do.
ceiling.
Yeah, with fishing wire
Yeah.
to make it look
I
like it's
also
flying.
I have another thing for you. We talked about flying vehicles, ships. You know, I want to know your top 5 like land vehicles, because there's a lot of those in Star Wars.
Ooh. Okay, are we talking stuff that has to be touching the ground to be
It can
considered a
be
land vehicle?
no, it can be a land speeder. It just
Okay,
can't be an air speeder.
because that is my number one. It is not
Luke's
a
land
vehicle.
speeder?
Luke's land speeder is my number one. It was my first Lego set ever. My first ever
Okay.
Star Wars Lego set. And not even
Okay.
just Star Wars Lego set. It was my first Lego set. I've got the original one up there. It's up there somewhere. I've got almost every iteration of Lego land speeder except for the UCS one that they released.
Oh, yeah.
I've got
That thing is huge.
almost, yeah, and it's big. It's like the size of the table next to me. It's big. I would probably say, do droid tanks count? Because they're piloted by droids.
I would say, yeah, like, you know, like the snail tank in Revenge of the Sith or something, that would count, or like
Yeah.
the spider droid, you know.
Okay. So I would say land speeder number 1. I would say the sand crawler number 2.
Oh, that's
I
a
would
great pick.
I would say, does it have to be a vehicle or can it be living?
No creatures.
Because I was being like a Tauntaun number 3.
Yeah, I did think about that, and I was like, no, I feel like that has to be like, that's like an entirely different
No,
bracket.
it's fine. I really like it's kind of sandcrawler-ish, but I really like the droid dropship from Phantom Menace, the big thing, and then they also had the merchandise one with the Pepsis that came out.
Is that like the MTT or something, or like
I don't remember
I
what
think
it's
so,
called.
yeah. But yeah, the Pepsi thing where it's like.
Am I at 2 or 3?
I think you said Luke's land speeder. I think you said the
Sandcrawler,
and then that
droid dropship.
So you get 2 more.
The AT-AT, and then ATST.
Okay,
That's my 5.
Only 1 from the prequels.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I don't know why I can't really think of a lot of it's not an ATST. What's the walker from Revenge of the Sith where it's like it's got the shield
one?
Yeah. What is that thing called?
That's like a ATMT or something.
I forget what that thing is. That thing is cool.
It's really cool. It's like almost like the front half of like the ATTE. Like, yeah, with like 3 legs. It's pretty sick.
I will say, okay, but here's the thing. I know you can't take it off world, but like now I'm thinking of like the vehicles on Coruscant, like all of the car type vehicles.
See that, but those are air speeders.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, it's a hard switch when it has to be,
because like technically, if you were going to get into air speeders, then the snow speeder would count because that's a T-47 air speeder.
Yep. Yeah. That's why I put that with like flying vehicles. Yeah. Because I was also thinking of like Anakin and Obi-Wan's the yellow, orange, and green speeder that they have in Attack of the Clones.
That one's great.
That one's awesome.
I
had the toy of that
too.
Yeah.
2 prongs, yeah. So you have 1 more?
No, I think that's 5.
You said 5. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so my 5, just to go through it to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. What is that? Land speeder, sandcrawler, droid dropship from Phantom Menace, AT-AT, ATST. Those are my 5.
That's a good pick. Those are good picks.
Yeah,
Sandcrawler's an elite pick. I'll tell you a better land speeder though than Luke's bum land speeder, or is it Obi-Wan's? It's Luke's. All right, here's mine off the rip. Han Solo's stolen speeder at the beginning of Solo, the blue one, elite.
Whatever, dude.
It's so bad. It's so much better. When he drifts it around the corner in Corellia, sick.
Yeah.
ATST, just because like I love me a good ATST.
Yep.
The TX-130 from Battlefront, both the original and the new one, it kind of has like the face of an ATST, but it's got like the laser beam on it, and it's technically like a hovering tank. I love that. The original trilogy speeder that we see in Empire Strikes Back, in Return of the Jedi, it's classic. I love the sound of that thing. And then honestly, my fifth pick, probably the turbo tank from Revenge of the Sith.
Dude, turbo tank is a good one. Oh wait, no, I'm taking ATST off and I'm putting in a swoop bike.
From what specifically?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Are the Endor Troopers bikes technically swoop bikes, or those speeder bikes?
Those are speeder bikes.
Okay, I will use that then. Speeder bike instead of ATST.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love that's the thing. It's like I have the hard determination of like foot touching ground versus like land speeder where it just kind of hovers, but like it's close. But if it counts, yeah, I'll put it there for instead. So yeah,
but now I'm rethinking because I'm like pod racers would count,
right? That's what I'm thinking.
No, okay, I'm sorry, ATST. Anakin's pod racer is in.
Yeah, dude.
Because yes, it does jump up, but it comes back down. That's the thing, is it doesn't fly. So like, yeah.
What's the
Sebulba's is pretty good too.
Yeah, the turbo tank is good, dude.
So sick.
It's such a fun Lego set too.
Yeah.
What's the precursor to the AT-AT that the Republic uses that has 6 legs instead of 4?
The ATTE.
Is that it?
The one that's like crawling up the side of the rock.
Yeah, those are sick, dude.
Yeah. I love the dude. There was it's the ship that's in Rise of the Resistance. I love that it has the exact same cockpit as the AT-TE. Like it's got like that kind of square cockpit because Doug Chang designed that that ship for Rise of Resistance. So it's like it has like the I think it has like the boosters of like an X-wing, but then it has like the body of like the Corellian Corvette, but then it has like the cockpit of the AT-TE, and I'm like, what a great hodgepodge of like Star Wars. It's so good.
What I do like too, that might be a deep or like might be a hot take. I really like Rey's land speeder from Force Awakens.
Oh, the Magnum chocolate bar. That was what people called it. It's
dude,
really good.
That thing is cool. It looks very prequels-esque for something that is on a sand planet.
There's also Jabba's sails barge.
Does that count?
Yeah, it ain't flying anywhere, dude.
I guess.
It's just like a big boat for like the sands.
Dude, you imagine? Yeah, Jabba's sail barge. Yeah, those are my 5. That's what I'm sticking with. I'll probably be so pissed at these later, though.
We might have to do a correction, just like I did with my ships. But my friend Keenan, he all right, off the cuff, dude. I can okay.
Mount Rushmore is easy. There's one that is obviously on there. There's 2 that are obviously on there.
Okay, I'm curious what those are. I'm gonna say mine first, and then I'll see if I get them. Are we talking about like objective Mount Rushmore or like personal Mount Rushmore? Like, are we talking like? Because are you talking like on the goats of just like Star Wars planets of all time? I could do that.
I think it's just objective of like what everyone would have to agree on. Like if yours personally, that's different.
Okay, then though I think the ones that you're thinking of is Coruscant and Tatooine.
Immediately.
Okay. The next 2 are kind of tough, dude. I personally, weirdly, I would say Mustafar. Right?
Yeah.
Because like it's kind of a big deal, dude. The 4th one is tough.
I mean, I don't think it's Naboo.
Part of me wants to say Kashyyyk, but like we don't see it enough. It's just because I think of the Wookiee stuff. But weirdly enough, because of how popular it is currently, Batu might be on there. But
yeah, truly.
But I think if we're gonna stick strictly to movies, you gotta go. See, Noah says 4th Endor. Endor is Is a pretty
Yeah, but also other than Return of the Jedi, they're not really like nobody's really going to Endor.
yeah. I wouldn't put Hoth on there.
No, I
Okay,
wouldn't put Hoth.
okay. Hear me out. Cloud City, Bespin.
Bespin.
That's like really distinctly Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
It all
That
Coruscant.
fourth spot is hard. Yeah, Coruscant, Tatooine.
What do we say is the third one?
I feel like Kashyyyk kind of takes that third spot.
Oh, I said you think over Mustafar?
Oh no, Mustafar. Yes, sorry. And then
I don't know. I feel like Naboo is a strong contender, dude. It's pretty prominent.
Gorman.
I also thought Camino is a good honorable mention. I don't think it makes it the top four.
Camino's so good. Ilum.
Ilum is in. No, I would say. I don't even know if it's in my personal. Does Yavin make it on there? No, I don't think Yavin makes it on there.
No.
After Andor, there's a strong. I also think again honorable mention. Lothal is pretty great. But
Ooh, yeah, I think Lothal might be it.
So you think Coruscant? Do you think Lothal over Naboo?
Yeah, I think so because think of how much it goes on Lothal, and Naboo is kind of just like they have that battle, and that's where Padme's from. But like, and
agree.
What? That's where Anakin and Padme get married. Like, cool, but like,
it's also where Palpatine's from. Also, like,
and Luthen blows up that bridge in Andor.
Yeah, he does. Well, I immediately think of just like that the famous shot of just like feed of the city, and it's just like, dude, that is
maybe it's
Star
Naboo.
Wars.
Maybe it has to be Naboo.
See, yeah, Ryan says Naboo, Tatooine, and Bespin for me. I'm not sure. Ryan, we're saying either Coruscant or
Coruscant might be number one. It's Coruscant and Tatooine or
Tatooine.
Yeah.
I'm saying Coruscant, Tatooine, Naboo, Mustafar. That's what I'm saying. I could hear arguments for Bespin over Mustafar, but
yeah, I agree. Jeddah.
Jeddah is pretty goated. I do love
Jeddah's cool, dude.
But it's like you can't have two desert planets on the same list,
I know.
You know.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with that. Then everybody will be pissed at us for those four.
Yeah, there's no way, dude. That's like I feel like the closest you can get to be. I can like again. I do think Bespin is pretty darn close, you know. But yeah.
What's the planet in Ahsoka that they go to before where she fights Balin with all the cherry blossoms?
Oh, Cetos.
Dude, that planet is so cool.
I love the vibes of that planet, man. I'm a sucker for any type of planet that kind of feels a little remote, but it's not like desolate. And it also like dude, I was talking to Connor the other day, and like that fight between Balin and Ahsoka, like on the cliffside, one of my favorite canon fights.
Absolutely, so good.
Yeah, it's the dark clouds, like the fighting going on elsewhere, the colors, the star chart, and then like kind of having the MacGuffin straight in the center. I'm like, when you have a good set piece for a fight, like I don't know, I just feel like when you think of the best fights, it's like they just have such a good environment around them. Which is honestly like why I really do like the Force Awakens the snow forest fight.
Yeah, like, on Ilum.
It's crazy. I always I forget that's on Ilum.
Yep. That's Starkiller base, dude.
Yeah.
What if we just didn't pull all the kyber crystals out? We just built it out of the planet full of kyber crystals. Imagine Krennic has that idea.
I know. He's just like,
there's a planet full of them?
Yeah.
What, are we blind?
He had to have known, right? I mean, like in Fallen Order, they're building, bro. They're working on it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
They're mining out of it. But then it's like, dang, like you have to think, how many kyber crystals were they getting, bro? Because like they're also mining them out of Jeddah.
Yeah, the Empire didn't want to pay shipping costs, dude. There's no 2-day Prime with
Yeah.
the Empire for Kyber crystals. Dude.
Okay. That was a whole whirlwind of different
Yeah.
things right there.
Can I show off my pickups from yesterday?
Absolutely. I have nothing.
Dude. Well, okay, as of this episode, you got the Grievous racer, the great Grievous. It's not really a bike, the one wheel. Yeah.
Also
So
a great
sick.
land vehicle. Frick.
Yeah, dude. That is a good one.
Got the cannons on the front.
Dude.
Yeah,
just if we want to go,
I'm gonna kill you right now.
If we want to go, okay, just because now I'm thinking about it, if we wanted to go 5 creatures that you can ride, Boga, Dewback, Tauntaun, the Reek from Attack of the Clones, and the Mythosaur from the holiday special that Boba Fett rides.
You don't want to go for the Blurg from the Mandalorian?
Oh my gosh.
No,
a weird Dewback lizard thing.
Boga is my number one.
Yeah, Boga's sick. Boga is really cool.
Also, I feel like because of just how much they carry, like in terms of how much they appear, the Eopies from Tatooine that we see in the Phantom Menace, and then in like Kenobi, and then in Revenge of the Sith, and in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, they're all over the place, dude.
They're chilling. They're farting, bro.
They be farting. You fart with that?
Show me the pickups.
Okay, so it is the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, and for some reason, Facebook Marketplace also agrees with that statement. We got this.
That's so sick, dude.
Movie poster of the 501st, dude. And just so happens that on the day that I saw this listing, I found my figure from when I was a kid of the same guy, dude. Look at that.
You know what's
literally
cool?
the same
that
dude.
Poster, that pose is a victory pose in Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was, because of all the, and we're going to talk about Battlefront here in a little bit, but
we are.
Because of all the Battlefront stuff, I was like, this is so cool. It's framed and it's also numbered down here. And I don't know if that's a thing because of the frame or if that's because of the poster. I asked the 2 people, they were just like 2 like older grandparents. They were like, yeah, it was our son's in his room. We're finally getting rid of it. I was like, cool. I was like, do you remember when you got it? They were like, oh, years ago. I was like, it's probably been there since 2005. They probably got it. They probably framed it themselves. But yeah, it is. They had that one. They had Mace. They had Anakin. They had Obi-Wan. They had Yoda. I'm pretty sure they had a Padme. But like all of those, like those character posters that were all over the place, dude.
Bro, you should have got Obi-Wan and Anakin, dude.
No, not the sellers didn't have that. They just had this. I just mean like in general.
Okay.
I was trying to.
I was about to say, I was like, bro, that would be a crazy haul to have.
But to match the Anakin that I found in the exact same bin.
No way. Is that the?
That's the one from the volcano, dude.
Heck yeah, let's go. Is his mouth like this?
It's like he looks like he's like Giga Chad Anakin. Like, I don't know if you can see. He's like
my Anakin from the volcano. He's like his mouth.
Is this not it then? Is this not is there more than one squeeze leg fighting Anakin?
Maybe mine wasn't squeeze leg. I don't know.
Dude,
it's really cool though. He's going crazy.
yeah. But
maybe Obi-Wan his mouth is open. I don't know. I'm gonna kill you, dude. I'll trade you the Grievous bike.
And you just took it off your top 5, dude.
I said it's my number 1 starfighter.
You just took it off your top 5. Dude, I cannot tell you how fast I was laying in bed and I was on Facebook Marketplace and I turned over to my wife and I was like, you are not going to believe what I just found. And she was like, what? Because I always, dude, they're on Facebook Marketplace by me right now. There's a 100-foot movie banner from when Clone Wars, the animated movie came out. And it's like the movie banner that hung like from the rafters of a movie theater.
You wrap it around your house.
It's so big, dude. I was like, where would I put that? It is huge. It's
insane.
Anakin and Obi-Wan, and it's like the poster that's all over the box art of like Anakin and Obi-Wan with Yoda down here, and just all of the clones with Rex on the other side with the logo.
It's crazy
But-
Ahsoka's not in that poster.
Well, and then you think about the other poster where she's like in the back, but you can't really see her. She's just got an ignited lightsaber, and her face is shadowed out because it was supposed to be like a big reveal.
Oh,
Yeah, really cool. But dude, in the box,
You're gonna take it out?
no, what?
You're not gonna.
It's factory sealed.
You're gonna sell it at some point?
I'm gonna look at it and be stoked that it's there.
Just delicately.
What?
Bro.
What are you talking about?
Mine
What?
is like cut where the tape is at, bro. Like you can open it up and I can still reseal it, bro.
I'm not it's literally, this is straight. Somebody bought this at a KB Toys or a Toys R Us and put it in their garage and left it there. And in a Revenge of the Sith time capsule. And you want me to split the tape on it and open it?
Yes.
No, this is
You
not the
won't-
memory. This is not
How
the one
much
that
do
I have
to
memories
buy it
with.
from you.
Yeah, right. The one that I have memories with is right up there. The one that I played with in the pool and all that stuff. Bro is not an out of box collector. With Legos, I am. But with this kind of stuff, dude, it's also like the nostalgia of the box art of like that everything
You
is
can
intact.
keep the box and
I
still
don't want
take
it
it out.
It ruins it for me. I just like that it's I kind of like that it's in there. One day I'll have a kid and then we'll open it.
Okay. I'll wait for that day then.
And then I'll be like, this is your first step into a larger world.
That's a pretty because I still have my Obi-Wan and I think it okay, does that come with an Anakin figure or no?
No, it doesn't. It comes with R2.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah, no figure included.
How
How much to open the box? If you super chat $500 right now, I will open the box.
That's crazy.
I also just love like the Gendy Yoda on the back.
Yeah, dude.
Like-
Connor and Seth, shout out, they're doing a Revenge of the Sith cover. It just got the
Oh yeah, they were talking about it too.
Go
you
will.
Does yours
so
have
you-
the sneak preview figures on the back?
No, mine has your ship. Which I'm gonna kill you for. I have this one. R4 is missing and the missiles are missing. So
Yep.
if any 3D printers are out there that want to help me out, I'll pay you for a repainted R4, and I might just get an Obi-Wan TVC to throw in there. Do they have an Obi-Wan Revenge of the Sith TVC?
I don't know, but this is mine from Revenge of the Sith.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
sick with the robe.
Dude.
And
And
then
the robe
and
is
then,
just
of course,
a big piece of rubber.
you got Boga. Bro,
Dude, you did not need to super chat. That's so funny. I appreciate you though.
Keaton, you're the goat, man.
But
Wait,
yeah.
so show the figures. I want to see.
So the preview figures are Grievous,
I have that Grievous.
Tion Medon, the dude from Utapau, the Utapawan,
Battle droid.
just a Wookiee warrior, just one Wookiee, one of the battle Wookiees, and then R4G9. Because when you buy this, you're like, no way, there's gonna be a Tion Medon figure coming out. Like that's
Wait,
the
who
sneak
is-
preview.
R4G9, is that his Obi-Wan's second droid?
I believe, isn't it? Isn't the second, because the first one blows up in Attack of the Clones, right?
No, the first one blows up at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, you're so right.
Yeah. He keeps R4P17.
Yeah. Oh my. And then
Yep.
the
Yeah,
buzz droids.
The buzz droids. Dude, I
buzz
saw someone on Facebook Marketplace selling the Tri-Fighter in the box with the buzz droids. And I was like, oh my God.
You're gonna like this. I saw on Facebook Marketplace somebody selling a ARC 170. Or no, it wasn't an ARC 170. It was the Republic gunship, but it was the Transformer Republic gunship of the one with the Gendy face on it, dude. In the box, the Transformer.
Dude, I still have so many of those. I have the splittable Han and Chewie Falcon. I've got Luke's X-Wing. I've got Sacy 10 from Gendy's Clone Wars. I've got Vader.
Was Vader a TIE fighter or was Vader the Death Star?
Palpatine. I think they had two different
Yeah,
ones.
I was
think
gonna
there
say,
was
I just remember there being one with like giant pieces of the Death Star on the back.
my Vader is the TIE Advanced. And then I've got Luke's X-Wing, although the pieces are missing, and it makes me so sad, so I need to get a new one of those.
Yeah.
I think Obi-Wan is his starfighter, which I would love to have.
Yeah.
Bring that toy line back. I know we just did Mando. I just wish it was the Razor Crest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Hey,
see.
should we talk about Battlefront?
Yeah, this the Battlefront 3 movement.
Should we talk about the all of our comments being Battlefront 3, Battlefront 3, Battlefront 3, bring back Battlefront 3, Star Wars, we want Battlefront 3, hey Lucasfilm, we want Battlefront 3.
I think I read somewhere that across all platforms it had reached 1 million players.
Oh, yeah, it was like the highest streamed game, like Steam game on Steam at one point over the last couple of days.
That's so sick, dude.
Yeah. And what's her name who was Iden Versio?
Yeah, Janina Gavankar.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, man, people like good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Dude, Battlefront 2, I mean, that game was even the 2015 one. I mean, I'm wearing my classic Battlefront shirt right now,
Yep.
but like I mean, all of those games incredibly formative for me. Cole and I specifically wouldn't be nearly as good friends as we were if not for Battlefront, both 2015 and 2017. That game had such a great comeback story, and
dude,
you know, it's just so cool to see everybody pushing for it. Genuinely, you don't see people talking about like the Battlefield games that EA and stuff is making, like what they're doing with Battlefront 2. Like everyone is back on that game. There is still so much love and support, and there's still so much that could be added to it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if they don't do a Battlefront 3, if they like revamped Battlefront 2 or like
the OG 2?
No.
The 2015.
Like the 2017 one.
Oh, 2017, yeah.
And they like revamped it and made it cross-play and made it genuinely, I think it would benefit as being a live service.
Yeah.
Because it kind of already was of like having seasons and unlocks and new maps and new characters and it being like
and loot boxes and all that stuff.
No loot boxes.
I thought they were going to be loot crates or something.
Originally there was in the beginning of Battlefront 2, but there is no longer.
I never played the multi on the new Battlefront 2. I only ever played the campaign because just love that Luke scene.
Oh, it's great.
But I remember it because I got it in college and I played it like the campaign like all the way through, and then I was like, all right, I guess I should do homework, and then I never touched it again up until like maybe a year or two ago.
The excitement I had for Battlefront 2 2017, it was the same year of Last Jedi. So it was coming up like off the rip with like all eras of content, because 2015 was only original trilogy, which I actually did enjoy a lot. But I remember I think EA had a subscription service called like EA Play. They might still have it, to be honest. And if you had your subscription to that, you could actually play the game 2 days early. So I remember I subscribed to that and you could play for free for like 48 hours. So I played for 48 hours, burnt that out, and then had to wait for the game to release, like officially, to keep playing.
Yeah.
Waited 2 more days, then it finally dropped. Sat there all day downloading while I was doing homework, and then finally, like, I was able to play it, and I like just played it like nonstop. I bought the tie-in novel because I was like,
dude.
And I have like the Target exclusive one right there. It's a great game. I loved it since the beginning. Despite its flaws, there definitely was some BS there at the beginning, but truly they found a footing after time in that game. Like, and by 2020, it was such a well-supported game. It would obviously do numbers, and there's still so much they could add to that game. You know, I mean, there's modders that are on PC that still make content and characters and skins and maps for that game.
How much of the resurgence right now? Not to say that, because everybody loves Battlefront. I think that's at the top of everybody's list when they talk about Star Wars games, or at least a majority of people, that's at the top of their list. How much do you think of this resurgence is due to the Star Wars Fortnite stuff? Like people playing the Star Wars Fortnite stuff and being like, man, I miss Battlefront. And then like hopping on Battlefront.
So I think it's 50% that, because it is like it's using a lot of the same guns that fire the exact same way, and
Mhm.
obviously the skins and people are like getting flashbacks to Battlefront. The other 50% is Andor, and not necessarily the content of the show, but the story of the show being about this
Oh,
rebellion and
yeah.
fighting, and they're like, we're gonna make this happen, we're gonna do this. And so now I was talking to somebody, they're like, yeah, it's like that's kind of the joke is like we are like we are the rebellion, we're fighting for Battlefront 3 sort of thing. So it's literally both of
Yeah.
those things at the same time.
I would love to see Andor content in Battlefront 3 if they do end up making it and they added Andor stuff. I think I would be a little averse to them doing like a Gorman level.
No, I don't. To be clear, I wasn't talking about like people are like, "Hey, we want Andor content in Battlefront 2." I'm just
You
talking
just mean
about
like people are in the mood for it.
yes, of like, hey, like
Yeah.
we're gonna stand up, we're gonna fight for this. The people want Battlefront 3.
I do think it would
Yeah,
be sick though to use Cassian in like
Yeah,
that.
no, I do think it's weird. We also think with Battlefront 2015 had Krennic and Jyn as playable characters.
Was K2 a playable character?
No.
Dude, K2. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a pipe list of what I want for heroes in Battlefront 3, dude. Or
I've got
whatever.
my 5. Should we just do this now? I've got my 5, and then I've also got a list of like extras.
Okay. I've got 4 definitive. My last spot is a little tricky, but I also kind of have like an honorable mention. So I want to hear yours first.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'll start at the bottom. Okay. My number 5 pick. So this is top 5 characters we would like to see added to Battlefront 3. Playable characters for Battlefront 3.
Mm-hmm.
Asajj Ventress.
Yep.
This might be a cop out. It just says the Bad Batch.
Oh,
that's
literally a good idea.
Any of them, because all of those characters could fill different player roles within the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got Tech, you've got Hunter, obviously Wrecker. I've got the Stranger.
Yeah.
Like Kamir, dude, from the Acolyte in Battlefront. That would be so much fun.
I'll let you continue. I have some certain prerequisites of why I chose certain characters.
Okay.
Remember, it is Battlefront.
Yeah, but I'm also just thinking of like the cool characters that like.
Sure. There's plenty of those that I'd have. Yeah.
Yeah. My number 2 is the Beskar Troopers from Mando Season 3.
Oh, you're not choosing heroes. You're just choosing like.
I'm literally just choosing characters that I would like. Just playable characters in the game.
Gotcha.
And then my number 1 is Baylan Skoll.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. Again,
were any of those the same as yours?
Remind me again. Let's go rip them off.
Asajj Ventress, the Bad Batch. I hate that, dude. Okay, Asajj Ventress, the Bad Batch, the Stranger from the Acolyte, the Beskar Troopers from Mando Season 3, Baylan Skoll.
1.
Okay.
Ventress.
Really? Ventress was yours?
Because she's a key player in the Clone Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna riff mine off super quick.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, Ahsoka Tano.
Yep.
Number 2, Cad Bane.
Yep.
Number 3, Asajj Ventress. Number 4, Captain Rex.
Yep.
And number 5 is a toss-up. I thought about a couple different people. However, I didn't like the Bad Batch is really good. I was thinking about characters that were in battle and like some diversity of characters. And I'm also thinking of photorealistic references,
Yep.
Ventress is tough because we haven't had someone play her in live action.
Yeah.
But that is Ezra Bridger, number 5.
Yeah. I've got a list of like 10 at the bottom of this of just like additional characters I would love to see.
The main reason I chose those is because now at this point, every single one of those characters, other than Ventress, has had live action counterparts Cad Bane has appeared in live action.
Yep.
Ahsoka has appeared in live action, both older and younger version.
Yep.
So for any version that's post Rebels can be Rosario, and then they could get Ariana for the young version.
Yep.
Rex is Rex. I mean, come on.
Rex is without a doubt.
What was the fourth one that I said? Ventress. Yeah. Ventress is a little tough, but because she has not had a live action, but they could definitely do something with that.
Yeah, they could play around with it.
And then the fifth is Amon. Is Ezra because of Amon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't know we were doing also like reinforcements and stuff too. That's even different.
I have a couple on here just for like reinforcements of like, well, I guess most of these are like hero style characters.
Yeah.
The main reinforcement one that I would like to see is from Andor, the ISB troopers. I would love to see those. Like,
ISB agents are in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, but I mean, like the ones with the trooper armor and then the hat from and specifically that version, not like a mud trooper or anything where you can like still see their face, but they're still wearing the trooper armor.
Yeah.
Paz Vizsla,
great. Yeah,
I think would be an
thumbs up.
Awesome.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree. I had Ahsoka. Shin. This one might be a little controversial. Cal Kestis, but he does have I think that would be awesome. Yep. K2SO.
Yep.
And our boy, Two Tubes.
That's the I mean,
that would be so much fun with like the long bow, like the long sniper style, like the Minbin rifle. Like
that would be really cool. Yeah, no, the sniper style rifle. I mean, okay, if I'm gonna expand into more, I'm also choosing characters that I want to see in a big battle. So that's why I didn't say the Stranger, because I'm like, again, he's not really a character that fits in like the Battlefront. I get there's cool characters and everything. But obviously I would love to have Kanan. Yes, I would love to have Cassian. I would love to have K2. This is not a character. This would need to be a skin, and if they need to change the animations, they absolutely could, but I've wanted this since Battlefront 2015. I need an old Ben skin for Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I need and whether he still kind of looks like Ewan McGregor and they age him up, or whether honestly, like a Kenobi series skin would be awesome as well.
Yeah. They could do like the sideshow thing of like the in-between where it's him as like the rugged where he's got the rifle and all the lightsabers and stuff like that. Yeah.
That would be really cool. But yeah, I've always wanted an old Ben version. There was something you just mentioned and now I'm blanking on it. It's weird because Battlefront 2015 had like certain heroes that did not go to Battlefront 2 with Jyn and with Krennic and Dengar and Greedo. Greedo was so funny. They were like, yeah, we don't have anybody. So let's get Greedo. What else am I blanking on?
Cad Bane is such a good pick, dude.
Yeah, and
Cad Bane. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
That was the one that I thought you were like. I thought Cad Bane and Ahsoka you were for sure gonna say.
I wrote Ahsoka down, but I knew that you were gonna say Ahsoka, so I was like, I'll throw something else in the top 5.
Yeah,
because Ahsoka, I think Ahsoka is the one that like everybody is like obviously.
The four no-brainers for me are Cad Bane, Ahsoka, Ventress, and Rex. I'm just like those. Like again, and it's also like they're literally like perfect parallels of dark side, light side of like Cad Bane, 2 blasters, Captain Rex, 2 blasters, Ahsoka, 2 lightsabers, Ventress, 2 lightsabers.
Yeah.
Key players in the Clone Wars in big battles. Like it just makes sense. But yeah, I would honestly, even if it's not K2, but if like the Empire had KX as just a KX series droid as a
that would be cool,
dude. Top of my list right now, Dark Trooper. The Dark
Whoa.
Trooper. I would literally never play anything else. Another honorable mention, and this is why he was almost my number. Actually, these two were both my number 5. I just remembered it. If not Ezra, Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Bo is a good one. I was trying to think, like, there are honestly every live action character from Mando and Ahsoka could fit into this game. Like,
yeah, I did think about Mando as well, but I was like, is he in, like, can I see him in like big battles, and maybe that'll change, especially like Ezra as well, but maybe that'll change in, a handful of years when we're getting all these projects and stuff. Maybe Mando is going to be in a big battle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I view it in like characters that I want to see in a big battlefield and like interacting with everybody. Seth makes an appearance and says
Hey,
Dirge.
dude.
I would love Dirge. The only thing is we've never seen him in a big battle in canon, so I need that to happen. But other than that,
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him in a big battle in Gindy's, so it makes sense, right?
Actually, my number 5 spot is the Bendu for Battlefront.
What would that? He's like a vehicle, bro. Like
he's just the Hulk character. Just
no smash.
dude, that would be so much fun.
Balin
okay.
and Shin are good picks. That I just like. Again, Balin, Shin, and Chimere are all characters that I'm like. They're in such niche personal stories.
Yeah.
An honorable mention for me as well. And I would really want him to be a very heavy support character. Like I don't want him to be as big and like actually like giving like being a like a shooting character. Yes, he would have a pistol, but Thrawn.
Yeah.
But like I would kind of want Thrawn to be more like, in the
he's
back
walking
and, like,
slowly
like,
through blaster fire and pulling out an iPad and calling in airstrikes the entire time.
Yeah, dude, like or like to give like characters like boost in morale and health and things to like so it's or to be able to like I don't know, like yeah, maybe he could have like a big shield or something or give shields to people,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's a little too game gimmicky, but it would be cool to have Lars being like I am here to support the battle, something like that.
It would be cool if like Lars could do or if Thrawn could do a thing where you pull out and you just see the entire map from like a game board perspective.
Mhm.
And that's where kind of like in Call of Duty when you're calling in an airstrike and you like
Dude.
pick on where the map the airstrike goes.
Thrawn could honestly help like allies see where enemies are on the map.
Yep.
Like to be able to like, hey, like he's like a perpetual UAV, and it's like if we
Yep.
don't take out Thrawn, they're just gonna know where we're at all times, and then being able to call in the airstrikes, and that would be really cool. I just thought of one, and it literally just left my mind. God.
Well, here, the reason I said Shin and Balin is maybe, and this is definitely more so Balin than Shin, but because of him being a Jedi during the time of the Clone Wars, where like he was a general, like he was leading battles, and to know that like he has the battle tactics brain, but also like just like the same way that Vader, I feel like he would be so similar to a Vader play type in the game.
Lainey brought up Savage, which I did think as well. It's funny just because Savage is barely part of the Separatist army, but again, I guess so is Maul. But so like if there was ever an expansion where they're like, hey, here's Mace Windu, then here's Savage Opress. Like I always, whenever they do like an expansion, that was kind of how they always did it, of like they would have a counterpart to match that character. So like it was Anakin and then Dooku, right? And, and then Obi-Wan and then Grievous. So like Savage and Mace both being, I don't want to say Mace is like a brute, but them both being like very kind of strong presence characters. Whereas Ahsoka and Ventress would be the perfect parallel. Rex and Cad Bane would be the perfect parallel.
Yep.
I remember my last one, and I honestly do think he's kind of a no-brainer. Zeb.
I almost put Zeb on my 5.
Yeah,
I think he would be so much fun.
He'd be really. It's pretty great because Zeb's rifle is in 2015 Battlefront.
Yeah,
they added it as like an expansion thing that you could. So it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna kind of throw you a layup here, and I fully expect you to go on a rant and get in your soapbox here. I mentioned Cal Kestis being added to Battlefront. I know he's got his own game, but he does fit in that category of like a character that I think would fit into Battlefront, as well as a character with a live action counterpart. However, we have never seen the live action counterpart for Cal Kestis. There's another character that we are both very fond of, in Starkiller, who has a live action counterpart, who we have never seen the live action counterpart. This Battlefront 3 conversation that has been going on online, a lot of people will comment, what about Starkiller? People say Cal Kestis, people will go, what about Starkiller? They should add Starkiller to Battlefront 3.
Yeah.
I love Starkiller. We know this is a pro Sam Witwer podcast. I don't think they could ever do that. And I'm going to let you take the reins on this because I know you feel very firmly about Starkiller and his power scaling and video games versus like everything else. You can explain this a lot better than I can when it comes to Starkiller.
I mean, the simple thing is like when it comes to Starkiller is like, well, they're not going to do it because he's not canon. That's the first simple thing.
Yep.
There's also a lot of people that, and we talked about this the other day. I think some people have not played The Force Unleashed, Will. I think they're like, Starkiller's awesome, and they're like, I've never played it though. Guys, Starkiller is not that guy in the like he is that guy, but that dude in like the cool mask, the hot toy that that's Sam Witwer unboxed today in Sideshow, which looks sick by the way, and I now need is at like the top of my wish list when it comes to hot toys.
Extremely cool.
Guys, that was a dark side ending to a Legends video game.
Yep.
Which means I'm gonna play out the events here. You get to choose doing light side or dark side. The light side ending is the canon ending. And in that ending, Starkiller dies.
Yep.
The dark side ending, you kill Darth Vader, then you try to save your friends. They all die, and then Palpatine smashes him with a ship. And then he is forced into cybernetics, and he is treated as an assassin for Palpatine. He's not even given the grace of being a Darth. He is purely just a tool for Palpatine, which is why he has the cool T-visor mask that looks awesome and is so sick. Then they did a DLC. They did two DLCs, in fact. A Tatooine one and a Hoth one. And it was an expansion of that dark side ending. And it was very much the closest you will get to a what if in Star Wars. And it basically is, what if Starkiller killed everyone in the entire galaxy? It's like if like the comic books where it's like Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. Yeah, it's not gonna stick. It's a pure hypothetical what if. So then he goes to Jabba's palace and he kills Boba Fett and he runs into Proxy again, and Proxy's like, I'll help you out, man. And then he goes to Mos Eisley. He kills the Rancor, right?
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure he kills Jabba the Hutt. I gotta check myself on that one, but maybe he doesn't. Then he goes to Mos Eisley Spaceport and he finds Luke and Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan's like, oh, stop you. He doesn't stop him. Then he comes back as a Force Ghost. And Starkiller kills Force Ghost Obi-Wan by throwing him into the jets of the Falcon.
Yep.
That was never canon even to the expanded universe. Then they did a second DLC. It's awesome too. Battle of Hoth. Luke has somehow still continued some of his training, regardless. And I guess some of the events in the A New Hope happen. Starkiller kills like everyone in Echo Base, goes and finds Luke, beats the living crap out of him, and then turns him to the dark side.
Dark side.
Yeah, and it's like, again, it was always supposed to be fun and games. And I've got a reel on my page about even the canon of The Force Unleashed, the base game that is the true story of him, buzzed haircut Sam Witwer Starkiller as the secret apprentice. That was canon to the EU. Even that was exaggerated. It was amped up. It was amped up to the 11. It was for the purposes of the video game, right? It was for the parody, or not the parody, but in the same culture of something like Gears of War, an over-the-top gory shooter, or God of War, where, Kratos is just murdering the entire pantheon of gods, or Devil May Cry, when they're like just going crazy. That was the Star Wars equivalent. It was always meant to be in the medium of the video game. If you go read the book is very different. He kills Starkiller in a very normal, like Attack of the Clones, Anakin versus Dooku, like normal fight. It's not cracked out. That is not the gold standard. You jump over to Force Unleashed 2. Again, very over the top because it's a video game. Over the top is fun for a video game, right? Even Battlefront is a little over the top sometimes, okay?
Yep.
It still nuances itself a little bit. They did a dark side ending for Force Unleashed 2. Same principle. Basically, this clone of Starkiller kills the real Starkiller and then is sent to Endor to kill literally everybody. And I guess it's supposed to be in the continuity of the first dark side ending game, which still doesn't make sense because whatever, but Luke is nowhere to be found. He kills basically every single Ewok on the planet, then goes to the bunker, kills Chewbacca by making Han shoot him, and then stabs Han, goes into the shield generator room, finds Leia, and Leia's like, oh, I'm a Jedi, by the way, and kills her too. And then the Empire comes after him. Again, both of these dark side endings, never supposed to be canon. So when you think of Starkiller, the guy in the mask, that's just an exaggerated, fun idea, right? Even in Andor, we see the suit. It's just an homage to that design. A very great design. Force Unleashed is filled with such Star Wars-y looks and outfits or whatever. But even prime canon to Legend Starkiller was never in that suit. That never happened. When you see that and you go, man, he can never fit into canon. That is not what you should be looking at, because even that wasn't canon back in 2008, right? I do think, I will rebuttal that I do think Starkiller could fit into Battlefront.
Yeah.
But again, only if he's canon. And again, you brought up that counterpart idea to Cal. I think the only way they would do it is if he was like the main villain of Jedi 3, which I think would be amazing. I think that would be incredible, right? If he was the chief inquisitor underneath Vader, right? And you, honestly, I don't know if you've ever played Halo 2, but Halo 2 does this really awesome thing where you get to play as both Master Chief and the Arbiter. You're playing as like diametrically opposed people. And I love that because eventually they end up like kind of working together. I would love if Jedi 3 was a dual protagonist game where you got to play as Cal and then you actually got to play as Starkiller. They would print money and you could explore so much of the darkness between those two characters, because as we know, the end of Jedi Survivor, Cal's not doing well. All right. But to have Starkiller going after Cal would be amazing. And then you could put them in Battlefront 3.
I agree. There's not really much else to say. The only thing that I will add to this, and I know I said this to you yesterday, the Starkiller dark side endings hold as much weight in canon, not only in Star Wars canon, but also in Legends and also just in the timeline of the game, as the Lego Star Wars additional maps where it's like Lego City and you're Yoda and you're on a tractor and you're just running stuff over. Like, it's a novelty. It's supposed to be just a fun gag thing. It's just extra levels. It's a fun what if. It's just supposed to be an extra thing. It's very comic booky when you think about it. It's what if Spider-Man was the bad guy? Kind of like,
yes,
it's supposed to be just a fun Mountain Dew fueled, Cracker Jacks eaten, late night Star Wars fandom. It is so purely that era of Star Wars as well. Like, it was just supposed to be a whole lot of fun. It wasn't supposed to hold a whole lot of weight.
Yeah.
And as much as people use Starkiller killing the entirety of the original trilogy characters as weight to show out how OP he is, that is also Starkiller. That's not even Starkiller in the game. That's Starkiller in a very small sect of the game.
Yeah.
Starkiller in canon would be a completely different character. And yeah, they'll be like, oh, they have to nerf him. You have to. Like, it doesn't make it. I don't think it would be fun to watch that character on screen.
You know, a great example is Cal, and the fact that he's in a video game and Cal is cracked out of his mind because it's fun to play a video game. When you look at someone in a TV show or a movie, they don't be moving around like that, man. Like, that's just not how it happens. Cal he's got all these force powers, and he's got the Swiss Army knife of lightsabers where it goes from a crossguard to a double bladed to a Shoto he's got a blaster, you know, like, it's supposed to be, because you're playing a game, and games are just to be fun, and you get the liberty of going over the top with it. I do think it does a better job of making it a little bit more canon when it comes to the fights. But again, much like the campfire thing that I brought up, I'm like, if you were to read a novelization of Jedi Survivor, it wouldn't be nearly as like, and Cal froze time all around him and killed 100 stormtroopers in a second, because he does that. And he wouldn't do that in the game, or in a book, you know, in a TV show, he wouldn't do that.
I just think of the play action from the Arkham games where you throw a Batarang and then it becomes a drone and you watch the Batarang hit people in slow motion. Imagine if that was a play action of like a lightsaber when you throw it, of like, just you're able to direct where the lightsaber goes, and then once you're done with it, just you catch it.
That
like,
actually would be sick.
It would be cool, but it would also be like, that's just a video game.
Yep.
It's completely dependent on the medium that you are consuming the content in. It is not,
Yep.
it is two separate things. And the Venn diagram of video game versus movie is the character, not how they act within abilities. Like it is their character, and it is their personality and the way they speak. It is not how high they can double jump. Like it's a completely different thing. But yeah, it is make Starkiller canon, but in the right way. Make him an Inquisitor, and or however they're gonna do it, if they ever do it.
Make
More
him an
Sam Witwer,
Inquisitor
the
that's
better.
also being trained by Vader on the side. He has this dilemma of kind of being like feeling like this, like because there's such a big importance of Starkiller's character is him kind of being this parallel to Luke, to be this this son, right? This almost adopted son, and then of course, you know, being adopted by a Sith, not exactly the healthiest relationship. Go look at Palpatine in the Plagueis book. Go look at Maul in the entirety of the Clone Wars. And that be a very interesting, you know, to have Cal, who is kind of an orphan, and he is raising someone who is like a daughter figure.
Yeah.
Starkiller, who is in him of himself a someone who is kind of was raised by Vader, could be a very interesting dichotomy, parallel, you know?
Yeah.
Would love to see, and you know, Star Wars is all about families and stuff like that too. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, people would lose their mind if they were like, "Oh yeah, this is the final Jedi game, and Starkiller's coming back to canon, and he's the main antagonist of Jedi 3." You know,
Something I've always thought would be cool is if we don't get Starkiller like we know him as, is if we get him some point way past Return of the Jedi, and he's like old Starkiller, and
Old
it's
Man
like
Starkiller.
somebody finds old man Starkiller, and he's like, yeah, I did a lot of stuff in my past, and you assume it's like the games and everything, but you also have that like Emperor's Hand Inquisitor secrecy thing of like, well, what did he do? But you only know him as the old guy, as like a mentor, kind of like an old man Logan situation.
I
think that would be
love
awesome.
the trope in Star Wars of having characters that are either cast aside or, you know, we're like, honestly, it's a huge archetype. But Maul to Palpatine was one. Shin to Balin is kind of becoming one, where she's
Asajj to Dooku is also kind of one.
Yep. And then of course, originally in the Thrawn trilogy, you had Mara Jade to the Emperor, right?
Yep.
Where she wasn't necessarily thrown aside, but she was lied to, right? Her purpose was kind of a facade. And of course, Starkiller to Vader. Like I kind of love that trope in Star Wars. You know, it's one of my favorites. Love to see it again. It's a really cool character thing, and of course, you know, you would, you know, Sam's busy with Maul Shadow Lord, but maybe when that's done, you know, dude, imagine if they, and I don't think they will, but if they did put her like, oh yeah, Starkiller's going to be in Jedi 3 while Maul Shadow Lord is going on, Sam Witwer,
the year of Sam Witwer,
we're gonna like I believe it's like Chinese holidays. We're gonna have like the Star Wars holidays, like the year of the Witwer, you know,
Sam Wit year.
It's like Buzz Lightyear, bro.
Yeah, dude. Okay, maybe we'll end on this. How many, if I had to challenge you right now, how many Jedi do you think you could name off the top of your head? I know I could name probably 10 easy. Quick.
Oh, I could name like 25.
25?
Are you putting a time limit on me?
But it's like, fast.
Yeah, I could do it fast. Are you gonna write them down?
Yeah, I can write them down.
I'm gonna go quick.
You can do 25?
Yeah, I can do 25. Canon only?
Yeah, canon only.
Canon only. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me when you're ready,
wow.
bro.
I gotta hold on. I gotta get a piece of paper. I didn't think you were gonna say 25 that fast. Okay.
I think if you gave me 5 minutes, I could do 50, but I'm not doing that.
5 minutes is a long time. This is like a few years back when they were like, name a woman, and you had to write 100 women. Okay, let's
tell me when.
I'm also going to start a timer just to see how fast this is, because that's funny.
I'm going to go fast, so tell me if I need to stop briefly.
I'm gonna do a tally for each one. I'm not gonna write them down specifically.
Okay, I'm gonna because there might be some points where I'm like, did I say this person already? But I'm gonna
Yep,
try not.
and
to do that.
I will do my best to like remember that. Okay. I'm going to be no fun for this portion of it because I'm going to be looking down at a piece of paper the entire time. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Mace Windu, Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Eth Koth, Aegon Kolar, Yariel Poof, Appa Rensis, Kiadi Mundi, Adi Gallia, Stas Ali, Avar Chris, Elzar Mann, Orla Jareni, Jorah Mali, Stellan. Did I say Stellan Gios or did I say
You
Avar
haven't.
Chris and Elzar Mann? Jaro Tapal, Cal Kestis, Ezra Bridger, Kanan Jarrus, Balin Skoll, Ventress technically counts. She was a Jedi. Dooku was a Jedi. He counts. Pong Krell, Luminara Unduli, Barriss Offee. Who else am I missing right now? Master Soul, Jeki Lon, Yord Fondar. How many am I at right now?
You're at like over 25.
No, there's no way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. You listed 31 in 40 seconds.
You want to keep going? You want to do 19 more?
Okay, I'll give you a minute. You have to think of 19 more you haven't said yet. And I will stop you.
Okay.
Okay. 3,
All
2, 1.
Nadar Veb, Kit Fisto. Did I say Evan Peel earlier? I don't
No,
know.
You haven't.
Okay. I already said Adi Gallia. I already said Stas Ali. Yaddle is 5. I'm missing. Oh, Skier. Emery Kintaros, Vernestra Rowe. How many is that? That's I've got 8 left. I'm at 8.
You're at 7.
Shoot.
You got 30 seconds.
Did I say Kit Fisto already?
Yep.
Shoot. Plo Koon, Ben Solo, Leia Organa Solo, Buryaga, from the High Republic, Kelnaka from the High Republic,
5 seconds.
Kiadi Mundi, Amagundi,
Okay.
Teresa Nube.
You're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Did you count Teresa Nube?
No, I didn't, but I will. Okay, 14.
Okay, that was the last one I said. So did that put me up to 46?
You got 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 45 in a minute and 40 seconds.
I should have just kept going and should have stopped. I shouldn't have asked because I think if I was just content, I don't think I got the rest of the full Jedi Order from the. Oh man, I miss Coleman Trevor, bro. I miss.
I don't want to do this to you, dude, but you didn't say Ray.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't think about it,
dude. It's crazy. Like, think of how to go that fast. It's insane.
It also just because I'm listing off so many characters. I'm like, dude,
I also have to go back. I don't know if you said Anakin.
I did. I said
did
Anakin
you?
I said Anakin, Obi-Wan, Luke.
I remember you
Yoda.
saying. I remember you saying Ahsoka. But I don't.
He likes
Ahsoka,
think, guys.
Yeah, I do. I really do. But I don't remember you saying Anakin. I'll have to go back. We'll have to do the replay here. But that was fast.
How many of those that I said did you actually know?
Oh, I would say like
there was
pretty much all of them.
There was a couple High Republic ones in there that
there were a couple. Were like... I know a lot of the High Republic ones. I don't like. I know their names and I know their faces. I just don't know a lot about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like you listed a ton where I'm like, oh yeah, no Gunji.
No Gunji. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, I missed Biff, I missed Zat, I missed Gunji, and then who's the girl with that's also Stas Ali and Adi Gallia's species? I don't remember.
Bro, you said Coleman Trevor. That's so funny.
Did I say Kanan and Ezra?
No, you didn't. I don't remember. You might have said Kanan, but I don't think you said Ezra. You also didn't say Sabine.
That's true.
True.
Yeah.
You didn't say Qui-Gon?
Did I say Sifo-Dyas?
No.
I
You didn't say Qui-Gon, dude.
I didn't say Qui-Gon.
I'm trying to think of others that just weren't said.
You got to go through, man. You got to go through. I feel like that was pretty impressive.
You didn't say what's her name? The Twi'lek.
Oh yeah, Ayla Secura. I didn't say
Ayla
Quinlan
Secura.
Voss.
Ayla Sakura.
Yeah,
You didn't say
God.
Shak Ti.
Didn't say Shakti. I was gonna pull out Ram Koda because technically he is canon.
You didn't say Shah Agi.
That was one that I thought about earlier today. I was like, would he even let me count that? You know?
Oh yeah, dude, that counts.
He's not canon.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Okay, all right.
I mean, how many more do you think you could name that are specifically non-canon?
Probably like 15.
That are specifically non-canon?
Yes.
I got you. I'll give you a minute.
Okay.
That are specifically non-canon.
Yes.
Like that have never appeared in canon.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Kento Merrick, Maris Brood, because she was being trained by Shakti, Kyle Katarn, Jaden Core, Rosh Pennon, Corran Horn. He's not a Jedi yet in canon. Sorry, guys. Kip Duran, Mara Jade Skywalker, Jason Solo, Ben Skywalker, Jaina Solo, Anakin Solo, Desan, because he was a Jedi. How many is that at?
You're at 13.
13. Oh gosh. Oh, I said Corran Horn already. Frick, dude. Oh gosh, two more. Non-canon. I mean Shagai technically. And then oh god, dude.
10 seconds. You got one. You got to think of one. Dude, there's a big one that I cannot believe you have not said yet for non-canon.
I mean, are you counting Starkiller?
No. I mean, I
Captain Paratus.
Okay, yeah, that counts. You didn't say your boy from Force Unleashed. What's his name?
Ram Koda?
Yeah.
He's in canon. I already said that.
Oh, I guess he is in canon.
Yes, that's why I said Corran Horn, but not Ram Koda. But I did say
Yeah.
Kazdan Paratus, the crazy freaking
Kazdan Paratus. Oh, what's his name from Fallen Order?
I forgot Seer, dude.
Yeah, Seer Junda.
I did say Cal and Jar Paul, and then I forgot what's his face, the dude with the mustache and the monk haircut.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. I can't remember his name.
Eno Cordova.
Yep, Cordova.
I could have said Trilla Saduri. I could have said Riva, technically.
You could have said whatever the Grand Inquisitors, because he was a temple guard. Yeah,
his real name. Looks pretty good, dude.
That was
I kind of went off.
You named 45. You named 60 Jedi. In like 2 minutes.
Oh, I completely blanked on Bastila and Revan for the Legends, bro.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
Okay, I'm happy. With that first run, that first 31. Goated.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we ended with a speed round of absolutely too many Jedi to name. Hey,
they're all dead.
We got merch, baby. There's merch in the store. If you'd like, you can support the show. You can buy some merch. It's all there. Link in the description of this video. We've got a new episode coming out this week with Nerdy Brent that is almost done being edited. Will be out towards the end of this week with Nerdy Brent. We're the first of our interview series that we will be doing. Won't be live, but will be premiering at the end of this week. Nerdy Brent, if you don't already, go follow him now. You probably already do. He's always at the Star Wars premieres and doing cool Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Plenty of lightsabers, plenty of helmets.
Other than that, we talked about some good Star Wars stuff. I mean, I know there's no new Star Wars coming out here for a long time, but dude, we didn't talk about how Ryan Reynolds pitched a Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah, the rated R one.
Yeah, that would be kind of. I would assume it would be dumb.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy are good buddies, so I'm curious if that was like simultaneous or if that was
Can you imagine if they announced the Sean Levy movie and then instead of Ryan Gosling, they were like, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds."
Oh, sorry guys, we got the wrong Ryan.
Yeah. So, we picked one of the Chris's and
Honestly,
one of the Ryans.
Ryan, and maybe people would be like, "This is a little too like meta or whatever," but like, if Starfighter was like, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling were like pilot brothers," that were like,
Oh my gosh,
that'd be so funny, dude.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, they're like always like one-upping each other,
Dude. That would actually, I don't know.
And you get all the Chris's too. You get Chris Pine, you get Chris Evans, you get Chris Hemsworth, and they're like, "You're like us, We're the Ryan pilots. We're the We're the Chrysantons." Sorry about that one.
Yeah, we're gonna end on that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a great time hanging out with us. I appreciate you being here. As always, may the force be with you, and your focus determines your reality. We'll see you next week, guys. Actually, we'll see you at the end of this week, just not live. Bye.
Always remember.